August the 21st. It is 8:28 p.m. and, well, it has been a while, hasn't it? I don't suspect that everybody listening to the sound of my voice heard the episode where I kind of told you guys that I was going to go for surgery. My surgery was July the 5th, and, well, it's been interesting since then. And I've been thinking about reaching out to you guys because, frankly, I miss talking to you. Since mom left the planet, I don't have an opportunity to share experiences and things like that with her directly anymore, though we have spoken and I've seen her. I've even hugged my mother on another place. But it isn't the same as just reaching out with a cell phone or something. And this is something that I've talked about before. And this channel gives me the opportunity to share thoughts, experiences, things that happen. And if I can, and I do my best at this, guys, to help you if you're going on your own journey, which I'm really going to try to do really, really, truly as I come back into this. One of the things I wanted to talk about was my experiences since this has happened, right? So my surgery was July 5th. So maybe you're wondering, have you had astral projection experiences? Have you had shifting experiences? And the short answer to this is I've had glimpses of things. Things have happened. When I was in the hospital, I had glimpses of things. Sometimes I would be, watching TV or something like that while I was in my hospital bed. And there would be a moment, there would be a glimpse of something. But what I want to express to you guys is, as you know, with surgeries, there are drugs that are given to you and stuff like that. And I can tell you, without mentioning which drug that was given to me, I'm sure you guys can imagine because, there's stuff for pain and all that. Look, it limits you 150,000%. It really, truly does. I have seen on the subreddit people talking about using different drugs to be able to induce experiences. This has not been my experience. Absolutely not. And I've kind of talked about this before, but with this latest time in the hospital, I'm absolutely convinced that for me anyway, it really hampers me. It really limits me in my experiences. And I really just haven't had a lot or just, like I said, glimpses of things, little things that have happened. Nothing that I can really recall and remember. I'm still dreaming to a certain extent, but even that has kind of come down a little bit. And what I am thinking is that gradually, over time, these things will return to me. But I was also thinking about this. It's so interesting. I was looking through the subreddit as I do, and I was looking at again, something that I've talked about before. And I always like to, again, even when I'm not that necessarily focused or I don't have an episode focused on this, I always like to try to give tips. And I see so much desperation out there. And I know it's difficult not to be desperate, but I can't think that desperation can help you if you want to astral project or if you want to shift. It's not going to help you to get out there. But what might be helpful is to look at these things, to look at astral projection, to look at shifting. And, I would even suggest maybe removing the names from them. Forget it. Take the shifting away. Take that name. Get rid of it. Get rid of the astral projection name or whatever, and just focus on having an experience. Okay? That's number one. Don't go in desperate. Do not go in desperately. You know, I am so grateful. It's so interesting. When I don't have experiences, I understand, and I can understand why people crave them so much because, as you know, if you've listened to my episodes, if you've listened to my experiences, so many are absolutely incredible. And I'm getting kind of emotional thinking about it. I am so blessed. I mean, since I was a little boy, I've been able to do this. And it's just, I thought to myself, wow, if for whatever reason I wasn't able to, after this last surgery, or if something happened and for whatever reason I wasn't able to have another experience again, I gotta tell you, man, I've done so much. I've seen so much, and I'm so grateful for what I've seen. But getting back to you and getting back to you creating your own experience and taking these labels off. This is one of the things that I've been talking about. Man, I've been really going off on this one. Removing these labels, shifting and astral projection, and just saying, I want to have an experience, but saying it in a way of being like a child, being like a toddler, wanting to experience. You know, when we're really young, when we're little kids, we just want to get out there and we want to explore the world and discover things. And I think that might be helpful. It might be a helpful attitude to have, that, you know, you lay down, you shut your eyes, and this is just kind of coming to me. This is not something I've read in a book, but you kind of, you know, in your mind, after you close your eyes, you relax, kind of clear your head out a little bit, and you just say, universe, or whatever you want to call it, source, whatever, you know, I just want to explore. I just want to discover things. I want to discover new things. And there's no desperation in that. You're not desperate when you say it. You say it in a childlike way. Like, I just want to see this. Now, as I have told you, those of you who do succeed in either astral projection, shifting, or whatever it is that you succeed in, these experiences may end up being nothing like you thought they were going to be. This is why I always say, go in with zero expectations. And again, a child doesn't have expectations. A child is just exploring. A child is a blank slate, and they're going out there and they're, you know, discovering things. And what I want you to try to do, those of you who are struggling or trying, you need to, in my opinion, approach this with a blank slate. Like you know absolutely nothing about this. Because let's be clear. My opinion, we really don't know much about this stuff. I don't even think we have scratched the surface of what is possible or what can be done. And I think that we limit ourselves as we say astral projection is this, shifting is this, and you can do A, B, and C when you astral project, and you can do A, B, and C when you shift. You limit yourself. You're putting yourself in a box. These are things that I've kind of said before, but I am very passionate about this. I really believe it. And I'm telling you this also because I've lived it. I have seen it, guys. I have seen this. In the beginning, when this shifting stuff started happening to me, I really was ready to limit myself and say it's this. And of course, as many of you may know, my mom's like, no, no, no. You don't want to define what it is right here and there because really, honestly, you don't know. You know this is different. You know that you haven't experienced this astral projecting. You know this isn't astral projecting. It's different, but at the same time, you really don't know what's happening. Yeah, we have labeled it shifting. Yeah, we have labeled it astral projection. But if we take away the labels and we just say, I just want to experience this stuff, whatever it is, whatever this is something I am open to. My mind is open to experiencing this, even if it doesn't fit my expectations. Even if, I'm asking to go to the MCU universe if you're shifting, and it isn't anything like I thought it was going to be. Or when I astral project, I want to go, to the other side of the galaxy. Even if you see things that you didn't expect to see, or it's not what you expect to see, that's okay. This, I believe, is the correct attitude to have when you are going out there to have an experience. And attitude means a lot. Again, I could sit here, I can say, okay, you could try this method and you can try that method. But again, I see this on the subreddit all the time. People coming in and saying, I tried this method, I tried this, I tried that, and none of it worked. And I'm telling you right now that it's got to be something that comes from inside of you. That's not a method. It has to come from deep inside of you, because again, it is my belief that all of us have the ability inside of us, right? I was able to access it as a 9-year-old child. Others have been able to access it later on in life, and there are still others who struggle. And there will be those that will not accomplish either shifting or astral projection. I know, again, on the subreddit, nobody likes to say that. Nobody likes to say there'll be people that won't do it in their lives. Now, I don't want to say, I was getting ready to say aren't able to do it. I believe the ability does lie in everybody. This is what I do believe. I do think that. I do think that I believe that everybody has the ability inside of them. But for whatever reason, and I don't understand the reasoning behind it, not everybody will be able to do it in their lifetime. So I hope some of this stuff really helps. And I know it's interesting because on the subreddit, I always read people saying, they don't want people to be negative or to not to motivate them and things like that. And like I said, for me, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to tell you what's honestly in my heart. Whether it motivates you or not, I will do my best to motivate you, but I'm not going to just say things. I'm not going to just say something and just say, hey, hopefully that motivates you. No, I'm going to be as honest from my heart as I possibly can be, as I've always been. So anyway, hope it was helpful. And I am going to do my best to post regularly. And if you guys have, I never think I've ever said this before, but if you guys have ideas or thoughts of things you'd like me to talk about, you can also put those in the comments. I see that sometimes. And yeah, that would be great. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. Thank you so much for sticking around for this length of time and subscribing and all those things. And until next time, take care.